We begin with an ominous new reminder of the threat from computer hackers. A report this morning claims a Russian gang is holding a massive list of stolen online records. Security experts believe it is the biggest combined data theft in history.
According to a Milwaukee company called Hold Security, the thieves stole 1.2 billion usernames and passwords and 524 million email addresses. They found the information on 420,000 websites, and this is many times bigger than the security breach we told you about late last year at Target stores. Tim Stevens, editor-at-large from our partner CNET, is with us. Tim, good morning.
Good morning.
This breach is so massive. How do I know if some of my emails or passwords have been stolen?
Unfortunately, there's no way to know right now. We don't know which sites have been accessed. Again, 420,000 have been exposed, and that's pretty disconcerting. So right now, we don't know exactly which.
But we should assume that they probably have.
Assume that every password that you've got is no longer safe, and you should go through and change them all again.
Because it's that massive.
It is that massive. It's huge.
Well, just to underline that, everybody should go and change their passwords.
Absolutely. There will be a site set up in the future that will let you log in to see if your user accounts have been exposed and which sites have been exposed. But we don't know when that's going to be appearing, and in the interim, you certainly don't want that information hanging out there. So you certainly should go out there and, again, change every password you got.
What's the reaction from the tech community? I mean, you have this Russian cyber gang able to haul in this much sensitive information.
Yeah, it's definitely disconcerting, but it's the sort of thing that we've seen in the past. These are not new attacks. It's not really a new vulnerability. It's just the same sort of vulnerabilities we've seen in the past, but on a massive scale.
On a massive scale. So is there technology coming that will prevent this kind of thing?
There are certainly initiatives in place that are trying to put together a better system. Basically, the problem we have now is that each individual site on the internet right now is managing their own security and managing their own credentials. What we need is a central repository where we can basically have everything stored in one place so that you can have a much more strong security, biometric security, a more secure way of logging in there so that it's more difficult for this information to get exposed. So long as it's scattered all across the internet, it's very easy for these attackers to go around the internet and gather massive information like this.
Important information. Tim Stevens, thank you.
Are some countries more tolerant of this than others, for example, coming from China or coming from Russia?
When you're crossing country lines like this, it's actually very difficult to track down these hackers and very difficult to put them in jail. If they were all domestic, it'd be very easy for U.S. government to track them down and put them in jail. But as we're talking about international crime syndicates, it gets to be very complicated.
Thank you, Tim.